Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Income Stream. My name is Pat Flynn, here to help you make more money, save more time, and help more people too. I've been an entrepreneur for over 12 years. However, just over the past 3 months, I've added a new offering for my audience. It's been working out pretty well, and I wanted to share a lot with you today about how we put this together, what it is, and in fact, it's a paid online workshop, a paid item, but it's lower priced compared to my premium courses, and it's been filling in a much needed gap in our space. And I want to tell you about that, our approach, and perhaps it might spark some ideas for you so that you can make more money and offer more value to your audience too. Welcome to the Income Stream, day 96, 97? I don't know, we're almost at a day 100, which is amazing. Anyway, this wouldn't happen without you. So thank you so much, I appreciate you. Stick around, let's have some fun.
This is the Income Stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the Income Stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The Income Stream with Pat Flynn.
Day 97, I have it confirmed. Thank you so much. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We got Solar Gravity in the house. We got Just Samson. We got Eunice. What's up, Eunice? Good to see you here. Good morning, Bernard. Good to see you here as well. Rhino Dog in the house. We have Michael. We have Dogs Are the Best Friends, saying that this topic is on point, which is great. Let's see. The Roamer, Martin, Geeks Thrive in the house. What's up, Geeks Thrive? Good to see you here. I appreciate you. Before we get started, I do want to just say something. I'm not going to talk much about it, but a lot of people have been asking because I've been going live daily with my kids on our Twitch channel, Hot Coals Only. We're actually up to now 62 subscribers, which is pretty amazing. We've unlocked affiliate on Twitch. Next up is we're going to unlock, hopefully, partnership with Twitch one day, which will take some time because you need 75 concurrent viewers at a time, and we're not even close to there yet. But we're working on it. It's been a great lesson for County so far on engaging an audience and staying consistent and whatnot. However, we're not going to be streaming live today. I'm going to be participating in what's called the Twitch Blackout. And if you want to learn more about that, I definitely recommend you look up that hashtag and see what's going on in the Twitch community. There's been a lot of people who've been saying things that probably should have been said a long time ago, and a lot of people who are being called out for things that, for mistreating people. And I'm not going to go into it again today, but I think that I just want to say that I'm with you and I hear you and I want to participate even though I'm a small Twitch streamer. I see it and it's not cool and I want to help out. And so thank you so much, and I apologize for not streaming today, but this is important stuff. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. And so today I wanted to talk about these online workshops that we've been putting on for the last 3 months. In fact, we've done 3 in the last 3 months, and it's becoming a really neat thing that we've been offering that's been, it's enabled us to make some more money. It's not as much money as compared to some other stuff that we promote. And I'll go over the history of things that we've offered on the website and in our brand and where this really fits into place in just a minute. But what's really neat about this is the evergreen nature of what we are creating here. Even though it's an online workshop, something that happens in real time, live with an audience, there is Q&A, there is presentations. The way that we're structuring it and the way that we're approaching the filming of it is allowing us to use it again and again and again later. And I'm going to show you, and I'm actually going to take you inside one of our workshops to show you how it's been broken down. And I know this might seem a little mysterious right now, but it's brand new to us. And so just bear with me as I share with you the details of what's going on here. So really quick, just thank you again. There have been a number of people in the Quaranteam, the crowd here, who've been going through some tough times right now. I'm looking at the conversation here. I just wanted to say, best wishes, well wishes for those of you who are going through tough times right now. And I'm seeing a lot of support from the other fellow community members here, which is really amazing. I'm so thankful to have this space for togetherness, for camaraderie, for communication. This is definitely a safe space, a place for you to come to feel support, not just from me, from the other members here too. So I just want to say thank you so much. And, I'm here for you. And if you need to reach out to me individually for something and something's going on in your life and you need to chat, I'm here for you. So you can reach out to me individually. The probably best place to get a hold of me would be Twitter or Instagram in a direct message. And doing that if you need to talk and if there's some stuff going on in your life, I'm there for you. Whew. Okay, so let's talk about these online workshops. What are they exactly? They are offerings that support a solution that we're creating that doesn't quite lend itself to a full premium online course. And also, I feel shouldn't be offered necessarily 100% for free. There is a lot more detail involved than a lead magnet. There is obviously opportunities for you to offer something for free on all occasions, right? For having people subscribe to your email list, for just offering some value, for whether it's a blog post, podcast episode, YouTube videos, or even a series of YouTube videos or a series of blog posts that can actually teach something. It's really important to know that that is highly valuable. It's valuable for authority and expertise. It's valuable for search engine optimization. It's valuable for so many reasons. However, there is something to be said for a low to medium priced item in your offering, even though I recommend, and a lot of people have recommended, and you likely know this, that if you're going to offer something like a service or an online course, you should play in the premium game, right? You want to play in the premium sandbox. If I were to offer my course, Power Up Podcasting, for, $200 or less, it wouldn't have as much of an impact as it has. We've had over 3,500 students go over Power Up Podcasting. This is a premium course that sits in the price range of $699 to $799. And this is a full-blown course with, multiple modules, probably 3.5 hours of video, but with homework and its extensive knowledge to take you step by step from literally scratch to a podcast. But not just that, there is some secret sauce in there as well to help you get found as a new podcaster too. And that's my differentiation. Whenever you're launching something, especially an online course, there's likely other people who are launching it too or have launched something similar. So you have to determine what in that space is something that unique that you can offer, that you can add into it that would be different, right? And so for me, it's the marketing. It's the decade-long experience of being an online marketer and how that injects itself into the podcasting space so that, yes, you don't just have a podcast up and running now on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, etc. You have it now found even on day one. And the marketing, and we've talked about this here on the show before, how to get found. There's some special secret things that I put into that is a little bit more high level, but it's in there. It's been working really well, right? But there's a lot of topics that you might have that exist in your space that you could teach, that you could hypothetically teach in a live setting, but for just a half day or a 2 to 3 hour workshop. And that's how long these workshops are. So we're starting to define what this little workshop is that we're talking about. And where this comes from is because we have now 5 premium online courses. They've made us over $3.5 million over the course of the last 3 years since we've launched them. It's almost been 3 years since I've had online courses. Yes, I've been an online entrepreneur for over a decade now. However, it's only been 3 years since we started offering our own stuff. It's always been affiliate marketing, pushing people to other people's stuff. And that's great. Affiliate marketing is awesome. It's a quick and easy way to get started. And unfortunately, we got so settled in on affiliate marketing that we didn't create our own stuff until recently. And I got to tell you, it's been so amazing to create things that can help people in our own way with our own specialties. And it keeps people in our environment. It helps people. And it allows us to take them step by step from one to another and to help continue their journey over time. Well, there was a problem with these premium courses. One strategy to sell a premium online course is to have what's called bonuses. Bonuses are an amazing way to get people who are on the fence or who are thinking about getting into an online course to make a decision, right? And if you just sold the online course and it was evergreen and it was open all the time, that is very difficult to sell because the problem has to be so big for somebody that they have to, in that moment, without any other push, to purchase something, right? This is why evergreen marketing is pretty difficult, right? To have an item up that's just always available, you need to really either hone in on the problem and amplify the problem so much that, hey, here's a solution that can get rid of that problem for you, or you need to give people some reason in an evergreen fashion that maybe using tools like Deadline Funnel, which still allow for the removal of a price or a discount during a certain period of time after people subscribe, or bonuses. And we were really struggling with bonuses. We were offering bonuses that either were too difficult to fulfill because they took up too much time. For example, for a while, for the podcasting course, we were offering a bonus that when during a launch period, in addition to the discounted price, I would listen to people's podcasts if they got to a certain point and offer a free audit to go along with it, which was massive value, right? And it definitely helped to make sales. However, we made so many sales that I got behind and I let a few people down. I'm just being honest. I was in over my head with that bonus. Seemed like a good idea, but big lesson there is, and that, yes, was a mistake, I'm admitting that, but you have to make sure you can fulfill on these requests and on these bonuses. And when you're just starting out, a little bit of extra access to you can work because you might have that time. But once you get to a much larger level, or depending on how much time you put into these bonuses, it takes up a lot of your time, right? And so my whole purpose is to hopefully help you understand that there are ways to still serve people and save time, right? So these bonuses were then evolving and then eventually get to the point where, and you have probably seen this before with other people, especially online course creators, where the bonuses, they just are like afterthoughts, right? Oh, you get into this course, we'll also give you access to this other thing. It kind of relates, but not really, but we have some, course material on this other platform or this other bonus or this PDF file or this audio file or this video that we can add along with it. And I don't know, let me know in the chat if you've experienced launches where you've seen bonuses that just don't really make sense, that aren't very valuable at all, right? Or they pretend like there's a lot of value. That's my biggest pet peeve, is when I go into a launch and I'm really interested in a product and then I see all these bonuses. It's almost like they're trying too hard, right? It's almost like they're trying too hard to convince you that this is something worthwhile, right? And they have like 10 bonuses. They put a price to them, like, oh, this bonus is $694, and then overall there's a total value of $12,869, but you can get all that today for just $699 if you act now, right? And it's like, really, like, first of all, these bonuses, the big pet peeve of that, and where we fell into the trap is like, we're starting to like put fake prices. I mean, they're not fake prices. You can imagine that you could sell something for that much, but then, these prices that people put with these bonuses, it's like, well, where is it for sale for that much? I don't know, right? And so it's like, okay, well, it just leaves a bad taste in our mouth, right? And so we were considering, okay, well, what would be an amazing bonus that we could offer with these courses, and something that actually has inherent and real value. So we wanted to experiment, and this is something that my team and I, we love to do. Once one of us has an idea, and I got to give it credit to where credit is due, this idea actually came from a podcast interview with Rick Mulready from the Art of Online Business, and I highly recommend you check out Rick Mulready. Anyway, he ran these workshops, and I was like, oh, cool. So you're offering them for free, and then you can get people into courses later on after that. And he's like, no. I'm actually having people pay for them. They're paying $99 or $199, a low price that wouldn't make you think twice if this was something that you actually needed, right? With these higher premium courses, these are higher priced items. However, they make people think. And so you have to do a good job on the sales page for sure. You have to have these bonuses available. You have to have some sort of incentive to get people to get into them. But a lower tiered price thing, anything between $79 and $199, is something that, if the solution is something that relates to a problem that people have, and it's just a topic that they want to know more about, they are going to be more willing to invest in it without thinking about the price as much. So we were like, okay, what if we had bonuses that were actually these paid workshops? And so we offered one. We launched a course a couple of months ago, and we said, okay, as a bonus, you're going to get free access to this paid online workshop. It was called the Traffic Booster Workshop. And this was in our affiliate marketing course promotion, right? So our affiliate marketing course is $699 normally. We offer a little bit of a discount during this promotion period. However, the bonus this time was a actual online course that hadn't yet happened yet. That's sort of key here. It was to validate that this is something people would want. Now, of course, as a bonus, we talked it up and we told people what was going to be involved. The big idea of the Traffic Booster Workshop was that you can come into this session and that you would come out with what is working today to help you get more traffic to your website for affiliate marketing. But of course, traffic is a universal topic, and the methods in there were able to help you if you are a blogger, if you are a YouTuber, and if you're a podcaster, right? Real value. So we sold that. We had about 100 or 200 people get in with the bonus. So now we have a workshop to create with 200 people who are going to get in for free. But like I said, it's a real item that's going to be sold. So even though we already had 2 people in there as a bonus, and it was it was on a specific date, and of course some people couldn't make it, so yes, they would get the replay and whatnot. So what happened is we then created a sales page to promote the same course. We could already say we have 200 people who are coming. Those were people who got in for free as a bonus, but now there's social proof that people were actually registered and coming to this, which helped provide a little bit of proof for people who didn't get in as a bonus, but were going to pay. And we actually had a goal of having 50 people sign up. And we just wanted to make sure to see if this was actually valuable. And we had about 130 people sign up, which is pretty cool. Thank you so much for the love and the thumbs up. And I'm sorry, I'm just talking a lot today, not answering questions, but this is a strategy that takes some time to unpack. Hopefully this is helpful for you. And I know we haven't even quite hit the nail on the head yet, but thank you for sticking with me. So this workshop happening on a certain date. Originally, I had planned it to be a 4-hour workshop. I was like, I want to provide as much value as I can. And I spoke to a number of people who had done similar things before, and even my team, and they're like, okay, 4 hours, that's a lot. I mean, you're going to have some Q&A in there, right? But you're going to teach. And, could you teach this stuff in a more impactful way, in a much quicker way? And we eventually decided that, well, hey, let's just try a 2-hour workshop with Q&A in there. Could I create a highly engaged workshop about building traffic to help you understand all this stuff? Because most of the implementation would happen off of the workshop, right? So that's where a lot of the extra time would come into play. So we cut it down from a 4-hour workshop to 2-hour workshop, because remember, the length of your course or the amount of time or the amount of videos in something is not directly related to the value that you can provide. And in fact, a lot of my favorite online courses are things that were quicker to go through, right? My favorite online course is Best Year Ever by Michael Hyatt, which is literally just 4 15-minute videos. So I knew that this would be okay. I was not at all worried about cutting it down and having people complain. And in fact, people really appreciated afterwards, fast forward a little bit, that it was to the point, short, but exactly what they needed. So anyway, we sold 130 tickets to this live workshop, right? So now it's like, okay, we got 330 people signed up. This is incredible. We made, over $10,000 from selling the extra tickets. It was something that we would have done for 0 people anyway, because it becomes a real bonus. And honestly, if nobody purchased, I would worry a little bit, but it would still be, as the replay, a very valuable bonus for people for future courses that we could launch with real value, again, because it's actually sold. That's the whole idea here. Hey, as a bonus for this premium online course, we're going to give you access to this smaller workshop, a little bit of a booster, if you will, and you can actually go to the page. It's $99. It's not made up, right? Okay, so let's continue. The way that this was filmed is very important. Because this was happening in a live setting, we got on Zoom. Zoom is pretty reliable for live stuff. However, I also had Caleb, my videographer, come in, and we set up the cameras in a way where I could also record on the camera at the same time. You don't have to do this. However, we wanted to step up the quality a little bit. And then in the way that it was presented in a way where it was chopped up in a number of different sections, right? So instead of just a chat like this, which is sort of more organic, there was very much planning involved. I mean, this was like I had people coming to a live event and I needed slides, I needed to present, and I wanted to provide a very professional space for people, even though this was online and in a Zoom call. By the way, the show up rate for this was 87%. For webinars, typically, you're going to get about 20 to 25%. But because people had skin in the game, because people saw this earlier, they got it as a bonus, but also paid for it, there was an 87% show up rate. I mean, people paid for this, right? And even if people didn't show up, they still got value from the replay later. But the way this was filmed was important because it was filmed with a high quality camera. We had audio recording in addition to the audio that was being recorded in Zoom. I didn't want to use the Zoom recordings as much as possible for what was going to become the bonus, right? The bonus was for the people who bought the course prior to this was coming live. But the bonus that it would become would be what eventually it turned into and in Teachable. So how do we sell this thing? We actually sold this thing through Teachable. Teachable is an online course platform. And even as a bonus for the affiliate marketing course and even for this workshop sold at $99 before, it was sold through Teachable. People would subscribe to this workshop through Teachable. They would get a login or log in with their existing account, and they would see one lesson. And that one lesson was just, hey, welcome. Thank you so much for coming to for signing up to this workshop. It's happening on this date. Here's the link below to go. We'll send you an email prior to that with the link to your Zoom meeting so that you can come in. Here is what you can do to prepare. and here's what's going to happen next, right? Just the one lesson. And the big idea was to film and record this workshop, to then have the editing team chop it up, and then put it back into Teachable where people already existed, to one day log back in and see an entire course there, which essentially is just this workshop broken down into mini lessons. And I want to take you into the back end right now to show you exactly what this looked like. So this is it here. 9 sections. This is exactly what we presented live. And now this traffic booster workshop is used in many different ways. I'll talk more about that in just a minute. But see, this first video, I'm going to play this for you. And you'll see the videos, right? You'll see 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, 14 minutes, 7 minutes, 7 minutes. This is the workshop that I did live, but broken up. And between different sections, I essentially took some small breaks or had at least a moment to breathe so that the person who was editing this could know, okay, that's the cut, and now it's a clean start for the next section. A lot of people are asking specifically about different platforms to do this. I like Teachable. I'm an advisor for the company. I very much appreciate what they're doing. They also have now enabled recently the ability to coach one-on-one through Teachable using their platform, which is really cool. They also have built-in affiliate programs. Thinkific is great too. Greg, the CEO there, I met him. He's fantastic. I'm just very bullish on Teachable, and that's very biased, obviously, because I'm an advisor and an affiliate for the company too. Okay, so here's the workshop. Yes, we had a little bit of a logo created, nothing fancy, right? But now this is becoming a series of workshops that we're putting together. So here is the video, and I wanna just play the beginning pieces for you to show you what this is like. But this feels like a real thing, right? It's not just a 2-hour-long video anymore. It's now chopped up. It's easier to go through. And for people who come in later, this is very valuable, right? So let me hit play for you, and hopefully this goes through. Hello and welcome to the Traffic Building Workshop. We're gonna spend about 90 minutes together here in this workshop to help you uncover traffic building opportunities. This is all without paying for ads. I'm gonna actually tell you a little bit more about what we're not going to do so we can better define what it is that you're about to go through. But let's first talk about the different sections that we're gonna cover today. There are 7 in total, and each of them will have some explanation, some stories, some implementation, and some of them will also have homework for you as well, so you can implement and get results. So here are the different sections. Section number 1 is gonna be called your traffic type. It's really important to understand who it is that you're serving, because that's how you understand how to attract those people to you. That's really, really important. And we're gonna remember, this was filmed live. So if you ever want an excuse to just get up and actually film a course, maybe do it live first. And that was really interesting because it almost forced me to make sure I was prepared enough. And then it made these videos a lot cleaner. And it made it feel almost a little bit more organic, right? I wasn't reading from a transcript. I was just talking to the people who were there at the workshop. And then I had these slides available on my computer. So for the people watching live, they weren't seeing this view that you're seeing here with the really weird screen grab here. They were actually seeing my slides. But the editor came in and actually injected these slides fine in back and forth pretty like deep way how to understand the different levels by which we can understand our audience and thus be able to find them and have them find us. Section 2 is going to be called your Nifty 50, right? So this is pretty cool because I'm creating this as I was going. As you can see, it is very professional looking, not Zoom quality, and it just takes people through. And if we continue through, like let's say for example, the Nifty 50 here, which is about finding 50 existing web properties to help you understand where you can partner or where you can go to potentially get more traffic. You'll see here that there's homework, right? And so I came in later and my editing team put this together and had the different sections laid out. And then I came in and just added some text, and it allows for a really amazing way to go through this. Now here is the fun thing. We also did a Q&A. So here's a Q&A. And Martin actually, who's here, was on yesterday's workshop. I did a workshop yesterday, which is why this is top of mind right now, and I wanted to share it with you. Yesterday's workshop was a workshop titled Podcast Advertising Made Easy, which is something that, yes, could have been in one of my courses already, but honestly, it deserved its own special thing because it's very extensive to go and get advertisers. It's not just a lesson, it's multiple lessons, but it was worth doing a workshop for. And we had over 100 people sign up, and pay for that one as well. And Martin was in on that too, which was pretty cool. So that now is something that can become an amazing bonus later. And so 2 times now, we've actually used this traffic booster workshop as a bonus for new courses that have come out. And I got to tell you, it, number one, just feels much better as a bonus. Prior, we were using, for those of you who are coming in new, I'm talking about how these these workshops are used in multiple ways, right? Yes, they can be used to be sold separately and sort of a la carte, if you will, at a lower price. They become a nice solution that people can purchase without going the premium course route. And it is a nice just 2-hour session that people can come in, get what they need, and it's a worthwhile solution if you do choose the right topic, right? And it can be sold a la carte on the side, like I said. It is now being used as a bonus for future launches. And yes, it feels more real because it is real. It is a course and it is a workshop that was sold and is being sold as well. Now, the interesting thing about this is we are considering upping the price of these workshops after the live to provide more incentive for coming on live. This is a very, this isn't a strategy that hasn't been done before. There is a company called Creative Live. You might have heard of them, but Creative Live is a company that does a lot of workshops like this, and they actually charge more for the replay. So there's some incentive to come in. Live. And so what's really nice about this is people can go, oh, these are actually workshops that are real. They're not just like random bonuses. These are actual things. And because the topics are things that can be used across the board, right? They become amazing bonuses for people to incentivize them to purchase the premium courses, right? So you get the premium course, you also get access to these bonuses. And these bonuses are something that you can get into and just like, it's essentially like an add-on or, a piece of something that can also add value to the course that you just had or the course that you just purchased, right? If you purchase my podcasting course, getting more traffic would absolutely be amazing, right? To get in front of more people. We also launched an email marketing course, and this worked really well too. Our second workshop that we did was called Click and Convert. And this is one that was very specific, and I was very interested to see how this would go because it was so specific that I was worried that, well, maybe this is something that people are probably can get elsewhere for free, right? Could they? And the thing is, yes, likely you could. However, having it be in a space within a container, and I also brought on special guests of this workshop too. His name's Daryl Vesterfelt. He is the one of the chief people over at Copy Blogger. In fact, he took over there, and he's amazing. He's great. Click and Convert. The tagline will tell you what it is. How to write subject lines, titles. How to write subject line, titles, and headlines that get people to click. That help increase your impact and influence online, right? So a subject line or a headline writing or a title writing workshop for 2 hours, and we together created a presentation, very similar way. We sold it up front. It was a bonus in a course that was sold that, yes, it hadn't happened yet, but people got free registration for that. Then we sold it, and we had about 250 people show up to that one. So yeah, it definitely worked. And now when I sell my email marketing course, that $99, which again, later it'll be increased in price, $149 workshop will be real value that will be included in my email marketing launch. Right? So now these bonuses become things that can be used again and again and again. Sarah says, oh, Dred, I forgot it was Wednesday and you start earlier. Oh, well, time to watch it. Double speed to catch up. Yeah, no worries. There was a question here about the filming process, which I definitely want to talk about for sure because there is... Does everyone hear this audio issue? Pat actually speaks, or is it just me? Kind of sounds like scratching. Seems okay on my end. Okay. Cool. So yeah, I've even had people go, no, don't up the price. But as you can see, this is providing value. And the big strategy here is, number one, yes, it can be sold on its own. But number two, it is mainly a strategy for us. And I'm just letting you in on our business and how we're approaching this. As a way to offer a real bonus to much more premium courses that actually have real value in them. And, yes, over time to evergreen make money too, and provide some incentive and bonus for people who act in early with us, right? These are things that are sold prior to when they're happening. So yes, you could validate them up front too, right? And even if nobody purchases, or even if just a few people purchase, it's also going to be continually used later. So that way, even if you conduct the workshop and it's not a lot of people, it's not a fail, because now you can use this as real things that you can include in bonuses for other things that you might offer later. And it also provides a way for people to interact and also transact with you at a much lower price point than perhaps your much larger priced items from there too. Audio's fine, thank you. So there was a question earlier about the transitions. I think it was this one. How did you frame your transitions between sections within a workshop? I can actually, I'll actually go back in here and show you. So let's say, so this, again, this was filmed live, but we wanted to make sure that the transitions were done in a way that could also be used in a replay. So let me play this for you.
Spreadsheet. It's actually, in fact, 150 when you think about finding like three popular.
That was right in the middle of that section. So let me go to the start of this section.
Section number 2, your nifty 50.
All right, so to start that section, again, I'm doing this live. I stop with one and I go to the next one. A little bit of a pause, a little bit of a breather so that the person who's editing can start again there or cut there and go next one and just go, welcome to section 2, your nifty 50, right? And for the people watching live, I also heard some feedback that it was very nice that it was broken up nicely like that, because it provided people a way for them to, while note-taking, just know that, okay, this is a new section, or take a breath, because it is definitely a fire hose of content coming their way in a short period of time. But let me go to the end here so I can show you what the transition's like at the end. So this is about let me go back a little bit more.
But do your best, and you're going to get some good results and have this really amazing sort of menu of stuff that's already working in the space in front of you that other people have already vetted and found. And now we can start to take advantage of this in our next section.
So you can see it just, when I talk about the next section and I lead people into it, that's where it cuts off. And then the next section starts here.
All right, welcome to section 3. This is where we're going to do some topic reconnaissance. And yes, I actually had to look up what that meant. That is...
Now, there were parts during the workshop where people did ask questions that were relevant. And so I did stop and answer those questions. A lot of those things were taken out of the... I didn't do that as much, though. I forced people to wait to have their questions asked and answered at the end, which is why you'll see in here, there is a Q&A section that's 81 minutes. And the reason it's 81 minutes is because it's broken up into 2, right? So here's the reason why. Don't be scared about that. Number 1, as a bonus for people watching live, in this case, because I saw there were a lot of questions coming in, just on the fly, I said, hey, here's what we're going to do. And this was not put in there in this course as a replay, but what I'm about to say, the moment where I share this with people live was not put in the in the replay or in the follow-up course. But it was essentially, I noticed that there were a lot of questions that I said, hey, as a bonus for you for coming in live and for being a part of the first workshop, I actually want to follow up with you next week after you implement some of this homework and answer some more questions for you in case any more come up. And they were just ecstatic about that. They couldn't believe that they got access to me for 2 hours here, and they're going to get access to me for another hour the next week to follow up. And it was really important for me to do this, at least during this first one, because I really wanted to make sure that I was providing value and that I over-delivered and to also see what was missing, right? So that I can help in the next workshops that we do figure out, okay, well, where were we missing or what was really difficult for people so we can, structure it and make it better the next time. But you'll see that this was broken into 2. Why was it broken into 2? Because this first Q&A happened at the end of the live workshop, right? It happened at the end of the live workshop when it was filmed live. Now, what's really cool is there are moments here in the course where I say, hey, and there is benefit to coming on live, so check out our future workshops so that you can be here and interact with me in person next time and potentially get it at a lower price too. So now there's incentive for people to come and see the next workshops that we have coming out. So let me play this to see. I actually don't know where he starts here.
All right, Noah says, can you please articulate the difference between levels 2 and 4, identifying the problems versus what is holding my target audience back? Great question, Noah. So
Okay, so this is where I'm addressing people live. And it's the section 8 here at the end. And again, this was the Q&A that happened after the live session. I wanted to include that in here because these are questions that people who watch the replay later might want to get access to. And that was about 27 minutes. And then the Q&A here that was filmed a week after. This one I didn't have Caleb come in. As you can see, the quality is a little bit lower. But this is what was filmed on Zoom that was, again, a Q&A with people who were there, but still valuable for people who came in later.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for watching this bonus Q&A call. For those of you watching on the replay, this is a Q&A that was held after the live session happened.
Xenia is asking, why is Pat's voice different? I've found, it's so interesting you ask that, Xenia and Vlada, because I've found, and this is something to pay attention to, if you're going to go into a studio to do audiobooks, or if you're going to film a course all day and you have these things planned, if you're going to be a guest on another person's podcast, or if you have something like an audiobook or a course where you want the voice to remain consistent, if you break up the recording sessions, I found that depending on the time of day, your energy levels, and how much sleep you've gotten, your voice changes. And my voice likely sounds a little bit deeper right now because it is a little bit earlier in the morning. And 2 nights ago, I stayed up late to finish my workshop for the Podcast Advertising Made Easy workshop that I did yesterday. And last night I got like 8 hours of sleep, which was great. But for whatever reason, I'm a little bit more tired this morning. Hey Archer, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you, my friend. So yes, I don't know if you meant my voice was different now, but anyway, I found that if you record sometimes in the morning and then sometimes in the afternoon for other parts, they often don't match up because our voices are a little bit different during different parts of the day, which is just really interesting. Beard looks good, Pat, says Anthony. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So today we're talking about workshops. Thank you so much for the thumbs ups. Thank you so much for watching today. We're not done yet. I'm going to answer some questions here for the next 20 minutes about this workshop. But again, high level, creating a paid workshop that we can either both sell up front, and the price point being about $99. So if it solves a person's problem, it's not as worrisome to invest in something like that versus a premium online course. And also offering them even ahead of time as bonuses for people to come in. Then we film them. We film them in a way that allows us to then break them up into little sections so we can pop them in an online course later, like this, where that workshop, which was about 2 hours in length, is broken up into little sections with homework at the end of each of them, action items at the end of each of them, and then a bonus Q&A at the end for people who were there live, and another bonus call for people who could come in later. And this then becomes sold on its own later, and also is now used as a bonus within our ecosystem. And this becomes a nice, really highly valuable item. And we've also found that, there's been, one of my things that I just want to share is that, I don't get things right all the time, and I do make mistakes. And there are people who, for example, purchase an online course and maybe just like they didn't get the login like they should have, or they asked a question and it didn't get answered and it was totally our fault. We dropped the ball. Just a lot of noise, and it's hard to manage that sometimes. We do have a ticketing process to make sure we get to everybody, but sometimes some people slip and, they get upset, rightfully so. And customer service is a big part of doing business. And in fact, you can make up for it in certain ways and actually have people come out with a better experience than if they were to come in and not have any problems at all. In fact, there was a study done with hotel ratings saying that hotel ratings and hotel experiences that were better often happen as a result of a problem that was solved and taken care of versus hotels that just had a sort of perfect experience, right? Some hotels were ranked higher than others, even though they made mistakes, because they were able to handle those mistakes and offer a better service afterwards, right? The fact that they had a method and a system for actually handling problems made people feel better, which was really interesting. So all this to say, I'm not perfect. We've made mistakes before. And these workshops become a really nice way to go, hey, I'm so sorry that we messed up here, totally our fault. As an apology and as a thank you for being here and a part of the community, we wanted to offer you free access to one of these workshops. It is $99, but here it is for free for you. And people are raving about that. They absolutely love that. And we haven't done this very often, but within the last 3 months, we've offered a lot of these workshops as sort of nice little gifts to people. There's also people in our audience who, just can't afford anything right now, even at $99. And we'll use this opportunity to go, hey, we hear you, we see you. We can't give you access to our premium course, but we do have these workshops that we could offer for you that you can get into right now that, you don't have to pay for, but, we see that you're going through a tough time right now and we want to help out. And these become really nice opportunities with these lower level courses, even though they're still high value, to offer gifts like that, which is pretty cool. Cool. All right, so if you have a question about this, type in the word question and then follow up with your question so that I can answer them. I know this was a very specific topic. I think the theme of this week is like, what are some low to medium level products that you can create for your business that can help you make money, but also best serve your audience too, right? And that's a big theme. But, the last 2 days we talked about books, which are items that have inherent value that you can sell, yes, and make money, but also become a part of your brand, can be used for bonuses, can be used to get more word out there, to build more exposure. Number 2, these workshops, which are, again, lower tiered price items, can get people in. And I know a lot of people who run these workshops in a very similar way. Again, the fact that people have to pay to get access to this, or it's a bonus about something that pays, is showing you that these people who are in here are action takers. These people are in here and they are willing to invest in their future. And I know a lot of people, I didn't do this on any of my workshops. I've done 3 of them so far, and it seems like it's going to be sort of a monthly thing over time because it's just been working out so well and people have been really enjoying them. I've also had a lot of people say, Pat, thank you so much for these workshops because I'm currently unable to afford your premium courses, but this is something that I can't afford and I've gotten so much value out of them, right? Which is pretty cool. Some people even saying this is like the best $99 they've ever spent. If you really focus in on delivering the value, people will say things like that, and it becomes a very massively valuable bonus for later. But like I said, it becomes a nice item. And I think tomorrow I'm going to focus on one more thing that we could offer to our audience that is a paid item. But again, like I said, the people who are coming in here are indeed people who are willing to invest, right? And that's something that we know. And a lot of my friends who are running these workshops, paid workshops, you get a higher show up rate than you would on a webinar. But they're also using this opportunity to sell on this webinar, right? Which makes sense in some cases. I didn't want to have these workshops become places that are like essentially paid webinars to then sell more people on stuff. I think that'll eventually happen after people get value, get into our ecosystem, and then find other courses later naturally. So I didn't want to use this opportunity as a paid way to then promote my own stuff. But in many cases, it makes sense, right? Like with Rick Mulready, with what he shared in the podcast episode that we published recently, he did it in a way where, he would sell the online course that he had at a higher price, but for many people it was too high, or people didn't quite understand what it was all involved. So he sold a workshop for $99, and on the workshop he was able to then go a little bit deeper into what was in his online course, and it made sense because people would go, oh, okay, well, now that I have this, I think I want to invest. Now that I've worked with you and I know what it's like, I want to go even deeper with you in this online course. I know a lot of people who sell services, right, or coaching or one-on-one consulting, and to have people come in to get a solution that is very, very contained in this workshop, and then followed up with, hey, and if you want to work more with me, if you want me to help you do this, if you want me to consult with you over time, let's get on a call. Now you're more likely to actually receive calls or get applications because you've already provided value. People have gotten 2 hours with you, and they're likely able to see the value that you have to offer in these other programs too. Okay, questions coming in, which is great. Thank you so much. Let's go back up, and I'm going to answer as many as I can in the next 15 minutes here. Okay. Another thing and thank you, Francis, for saying this. I have an example from the workshop yesterday, and it was probably even my mess up, but Jess, your assistant, was right there to check in and resend link, even though I probably put it in wrong. Cool. So as a part of this workshop, I've had my assistant, you can have a team member or a family friend or somebody in there in the chat, because you're going to be delivering value during the workshop. So you'll be looking at the camera, you'll be offering the presentations, and the chat's really important because that's part of the live component. So to have a team member or somebody in there to interact with people, there's a lot of people who go, well, what was the second thing in this 5-step process? And you can come in, or your friend can come in, or your assistant can come in and sort of just engage and let people know that they're still there. And I have Jess, my executive assistant, in my workshops interacting with the audience while I'm presenting. And then she also feeds questions over to me that need to get answered during the workshop, if any, but also is there to just engage and make people feel welcome too, which is pretty cool. All right. Rafal says, question, what platforms can we use for live webinars? Zoom is $20 a month. What about YouTube non-public? YouTube non-public could work for sure. Zoom works, but if you, for example, are doing these workshops and they are if they're $99, you just need one sign up. That would take care of 5 months worth of investing in something like Zoom, just FYI. So, even selling tickets to this up front can help you validate that this is something that then you can go and invest in with Zoom. Zoom is the easiest. Zoom is definitely the number one platform for this because it's just so much easier. Even though I use Demio, which is a webinar platform, that's not necessarily used for teaching, and the quality is a little bit lower on the replay. The quality of the live is much better for sure, but the replay is really important. And I know $20 a month is a lot. However, if you're selling these online courses and you're also using them as bonuses to get more people in, this is where we start to invest back in our business to get more back later. Bernard says, do you split your workshops into multiple levels from entry to advanced? They're not necessarily divided that way. They're much like my online courses. Here is the transformation. Here's what will happen after you're done with the workshop. And whether you're a beginner or not, and this is information you need, this is what's going to help. In fact, I do have a lot of advanced stuff in my workshops, but a lot of the people who are beginning appreciate that because they can get access to this information sooner and then use this information later. For example, I've had people on yesterday's workshop about paid advertising who didn't even have a podcast yet, but they were very thankful to have access to that so that when they start, they know when they can start, how to better initiate and talk and engage with potential sponsors, and how to wheel and deal with them and get the most value from that. So it's not really divided into, okay, here's an advanced course or here's a beginner course. It's here's the transformation that'll happen. Let me teach you it. If it's something you need, it's very clear. If not, it's also very clear that this is not for you too. Question, I may have missed it, but what form of assessment do you recommend? What form of assessment do you recommend? James, can you expand on that? I'm not quite sure exactly what you're asking there. Romer says, how long did you have to prepare for the live workshops? How much work would you pull from before? I can't really speak to how much work was pulled from before, but it's obviously based on my own experiences. So I mean, it's a lot of my knowledge from just prior experience. It's not necessarily pulling from pieces of other things I've already created, but it does highlight some stuff that I've shared elsewhere, but put in a format in a live workshop with homework and all this engagement and interaction to make it much more accessible, make it much more engaging for people. In terms of how much prep work, I mean, about 2 weeks prior, I start focusing on, okay, well, what's this presentation going to be like? How can I provide the most value? And I use my post-it note strategy to brainstorm and, implement all this and to lay it out and to organize it so that people can get access to it and get value from it. Michael says, thoughts on providing one-offs on specific training series that might be a part of a larger membership setup. Yes, that can definitely be a part of the process, and it could be something that, your members can get free access to, for example, or it can be a great sort of what's called a tripwire or a initial purchase offer that can get people into your ecosystem with some value in there to get people excited. And then you can follow up with a membership offer. And then you can even discount, for example, the price of the workshop from the much larger thing to basically go, hey, I've given you a taste of this. I'll take $99 off your annual payment plan if you choose to get in, which makes it seem like the workshop's then free, right? So it's just a way to sort of back end into membership through a lower tier price item like this. Tom says, what about trying something like this if you are a solopreneur? Process flow? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I would say that if you're a solopreneur, you could very much do this on your own. I would just say that if you're going to do this, try to make it as simple for yourself as possible, right? You don't need all the bells and whistles. You might not need a person to come in to film separately. You can just have a second camera on, or you can just use the Zoom recording for now. And then as you progress, as you grow, as you get bigger, you can then have and hire some film crew or something to help you out. But what really matters is the content and what it is that you're providing, right? And if you can walk people through a process, you can give them and offer them a transformation, that's really what's going to work out. And that's the big idea there. Let's see. For me, most courses are not affordable because of currency conversion, says Bernard. Yeah, that's interesting. Francis says, tech-wise, I've been recording some on Zoom and thought the quality of those recordings wouldn't be that great. When recording a workshop, is the setup similar to live stream setup? Yes, it's in fact exactly what I'm doing right now. So if you have a live stream setup, essentially I could just hit record on my camera. And if it is one of those cameras where that, for example, every 30 minutes, the camera stops recording, then you have to hit record again. You can either have somebody else in the room with you or just you yourself tell the audience live that you're going to be recording this, and that after a few sections or every once in a while, you're going to have to hit record on the camera again. Like, just be very honest about it. And what's the value in that? The value is I'm recording this separately from Zoom so that I can offer you a replay that's even better quality, right? And that's totally fine, right? If you have to do, and I'll even do this in my workshops too. I'll say, hey, by the way, I'm going to be recording this live. However, I'm going to be recording it also on a separate camera, and there might be moments where we have to adjust the settings and whatnot. So just bear with me as we go through this, and that way people can understand. Well, this is so that it's even better later. Suzanne says, almost up to 100 episodes of the income stream. Absolutely. Thank you so much for acknowledging that. So cool. All right, Roberta says, do you think a workshop is a good place to start if you're not really into making a whole course? Yeah, absolutely. I think that it also provides you the opportunity to force yourself to create something that might not be such as extensive as a much bigger online course, but still something that you do have to put some work into, to put some skin in the game, and it's something that you more easily validate. It's a little bit easier for a person to go, oh yeah, I can attend a live workshop, let me buy that ticket, versus, oh yeah, you're creating an online course, let me buy access to that before you create it, right? The validation process of something like an event, like a live workshop, which little do they know it's going to be repurposed into something later, is much easier to sell up front and validate, right? So you could use this opportunity to, number one, understand what the problems, pains, needs, wants, desires of your target audience is, create a very specific solution to something, and then offer that for a later date to just see if even people are going to buy it, right? And even if people don't buy it, it could still be used when you film it as an opportunity for people to get in later or a bonus for your courses later. Great. Hopefully this is helpful for you. This is a little bit different today, going into a very, very specific strategy, but this is what I do here. You all know this. I feel like it's been a while since I've experimented with something and tried it and then shared with you the results, but this is essentially what we've done. And we have more workshops coming later, which is pretty cool. So eventually we're going to have a page where you're going to see all the upcoming workshops and people can buy them and, etc. But I just wanted to share this with you. Let me know if you are getting value in the chat. Ming is asking, did you run ads to the workshop? No. We could have, and likely in the future we will. But if you are struggling to get traffic, then yes, I think doing some ads or having somebody help you with them can be a great way to get more people in here. Because again, these are about the solution and the transformation, less about you and the connection to you. And that obviously is a part that comes with it and can be used later. But yes, ads could have been definitely a part of this because the solutions are so specific, and the targeting would have been fairly easy. And we just didn't do that because we wanted to test within our audience and have it be something that we were experimenting with what we have accessible to us. Question, how much does a one-on-one coaching with you cost? Does this thing even exist? I've charged for this in the past. Typically, it's about $2,000 an hour is what I've been charging. And I have learned that the higher I price that, the less likely it is to happen, obviously. But when it does happen, it's a very, very valuable session. And the people who are often there do the work, right? I do have an accelerator program, which I charge $25,000 a year to have access to me with. And I have about 12 students in there. And this is for the higher level students that are six-figure earners in my audience. But it's something that I might offer a little bit more in the future, and I think that the per hour thing definitely turns a lot of people off. But I think that when you consider a much more longer time period, I might eventually sell like a one-on-one, but it's like a 3-month session for a certain amount of time where we can check in with each other maybe every week during a certain period of time. I don't know. And the reason I haven't done it is because I've just tried to scale myself through the means of these online streams, these courses and whatnot. And I think over time, I definitely want to get into that a little bit more, though. But for right now, it's not really something that I'm offering in front of to everybody. Cool. Let's see. GGHC says, why didn't I come to live earlier? Well, I'm sorry that we started a little bit early today. Wednesdays, I start a half hour earlier because I have a call coming up in 5 minutes with my mastermind group, and it's really important for me to be there. Let's see. OMG, first time I've seen Rafal's picture. That is so cool. Yes, we've always seen his purple avatar, right? Cool, love that answer. Oh yeah, 1 ticket would pay for that. I need to remember that, thank you. Let's see, more questions. Question, please, any easy plans for final year student to work online and get good income to help me pay college, please? I mean, 0 to okay, so if you're in college or no matter where you're at, if you're just trying to make some money, A quick and easy way to do that would be to find one person who has a specific problem that you know you can help with, and make a deal with them, right? Just one person. Let's not worry about a website. Let's not worry about your online business right now. Let's help somebody solve their problem, right? So whatever groups you might be a part of, wherever you might be, in a part of a community, or whoever you might have access to, even your friends, family, reach out. This is how a lot of people get started. They just reach out to their network or on social media and say, hey, I'm offering currently some design work. If you have something that you need some design for, let me know. I'm willing to help. I'm looking to make some extra money during this downtime, and want to serve people with these superpowers that I have, if you will. However you want to frame it, let me know. But that's going to be up to you. But yeah, I think that's and when you do that, you're going to find that forces you to consider, okay, well, what messaging can I use to convince people? What then works? Do I like this process? Can I do more? Can I scale it up? And now you have a testimonial. So get one person, one result. All right, I have time for a couple more questions. Wow, Spanish and Go says, I haven't been active in the chat lately because I almost always end up washing dishes from breakfast while watching the stream, but this is one of the most valuable shows out of them all. Thank you so much for that, and I appreciate that because I knew this was gonna be a little bit different. But, I mean, especially for you, Spanish and Go, I know that you have, both of you have a larger audience, and imagine creating a $99 workshop that is very specific. Maybe it is, beginner lessons for your audience, or maybe it's something a little bit more advanced for the people who have already followed you for a while and kind of know the beginning ropes already, and allows you to connect with them, but it also becomes a container for you to create something that you can then offer with your consulting or your paid programs or what have you, that is lower price for the people who can't afford your stuff right now, but also something of value for people who want to get in at a higher price later, something that's real. All right. Workshop is also a good idea if you want to start a consulting business. Absolutely. Manos, thank you so much for being a part of the Twitch stream, by the way. Appreciate you. Do you give replays to attendees? Absolutely. So this is a great question, Stacy, and a way let's finish off with this. So the experience, you get a ticket to this thing, you purchase on Teachable, you see that one lesson in there. It just says, hey, here's what's coming. Here's the link to the Zoom call. Over time, this is what's going to happen. And here's exactly what happens. People attend the webinar or they don't, and they get value, right? There's a Q&A at the end. And eventually at the end, I go, okay, here's what's going to happen. In the next 2 days, you're going to see the full 2-hour replay inside here in Teachable. There'll be a new lesson that'll be for you. That'll just be the Zoom link, and it'll be a quick and easy way for you to get access to the webinar in case you want to come and watch this later and have it be quick. However, in about 2 weeks' time, and I'll send you an email when this happens, you'll see a brand new setup here where each of these lessons, like I said, in this format, it'll be broken up. It'll be the same replay, but it'll be chopped up into the different lessons here for you so that you can work your way through it again later, or you can make it easy for yourself to find the parts that you need. And so this is the second version of the replay. So they do get access to the full replay first, quickly, and then they get access to the chopped up replay later. And this is then at the point at which we then offer it as a bonus for other things later, or we sell it a la carte later and whatnot. So hopefully that helps. And he says, Pat, you look good today. Even better shirt today. Thank you. I feel I have bags under my eyes, though. Even though I got 8 hours of sleep, I was quite tired because I only got 3 hours of sleep the night before, which happens maybe once in a blue moon. But I was really, really focused on delivering value to this upcoming workshop. And, you know, it is a sacrifice that I make every once in a while. But it's not an all the time thing. This is online business. It's like, that's what it's like. Cool. Hey, y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming in today. Team Flynn, you were amazing, and I am so thankful for your time today. I hope this was helpful for you. And if you could hook me up with a thumbs up before you go, and just hit that like button, smash it, destroy it, annihilate it, I appreciate that so much. And yeah, we're going to come back tomorrow with one more item that we could sell at a lower tiered price to our audience. The last 2 days have been about books. Today was about this workshop. I have one more in mind for you, and we're going to get into it tomorrow. So make sure you come back. This is where you want to go, patflynn.com/theincomestream, and that'll be at our regular time, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And again, I'm not going to be streaming live today on Twitch with my kids in honor of, not in honor of, but because of Blackout Wednesday and all the things going on there. If you don't know what that's about, very important. Definitely check that out. Hashtag, I think it's Blackout Wednesday or Blackout Twitch if you want to look more about that. Really important stuff, and I'm so grateful that I came across this recently because I think it's definitely something we should all support. So anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming in today, and good luck. Good luck to you. See you tomorrow. Bye.
This is the income stream to help you achieve your dream, all while we keep it clean. This is the income stream. It's the kind of show where you can come and go, but then you leave inspired with no fee required. The income stream with Pat Flynn.
Hey y'all, thanks again. Appreciate you. You are amazing. For those of you going through tough times right now, like I talked about earlier, just I'm here for you. If you need to reach out, let me know. And yeah, keep your head up. I got you. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here in this safe space. Quaranteam, you make this what it is. Thank you. Peace out.